So, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Jonnychipz Weekly. It is Friday the 18th of June 2021. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and it's time for episode number 25, so let's jump straight on in. So yeah, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. It is a Friday lunchtime. The sun is still shining. It's probably a little bit too warm if I'm being honest in the office, but there we go. Us over here in the UK, we like to complain about the weather, whether it's good or bad. But anyway, this week's episode I've entitled Celebrations, mainly just a call out at the top of this show. Happy birthday to my daughter. My youngest turned 12 today, so really excited to pick her up from school later and pick up on the celebrations. And on that note of celebrations, I think it's fair to say there's certainly a lot celebrating the community this week. There's some fantastic content, some fantastic talks, meetups. Truly everybody out in the community that's putting in their time and effort to get some of this fantastic content up to help us all sort of grow our own education on cloud technologies. It's truly, I'm truly thankful. So without further ado, let's jump straight on over to community call out. So, okay, quick tweet this morning from Jürgen and obviously my good friend Pete Gallagher, just to kind of give a quick high five to those guys. They've been tirelessly working on a series of Pluralsight videos to cover off the AZ220 IoT developer exam in Microsoft. So, yeah, Pete put a note out last night. He'd got one of his final courses or his latest course. I don't know how many more courses he's got on the go there, but if you jump on, if you're fortunate enough to have a Pluralsight subscription, or you can get a free code. I went through this when I sat the 220 exam, and it's fantastic content. You've got both Pete, Jürgen, you've got Reza, and you've got James. Basically, I think they've pretty much covered off the entire syllabus or the skills measured now, the AZ220. So there's a couple of videos in there now because of the new ones that Pete has just released. So the monitor, troubleshoot and optimize IoT solutions, as well as the ensure performance and availability videos. And I noticed there was one or two from Jürgen as well that for whatever reason I hadn't watched. I'm guessing, yeah, that was around about the time I sat my exam. So I think Jürgen has released these, obviously a month or so ago now, but the IoT Central video and then provision and manage IoT devices. So just wanted to give a big shout out. Congratulations to those guys for getting to the end, I think, of this content. I'm sure Pete will correct me if I'm wrong. There might be one or two other bits and pieces, but that looks pretty cool. So if you are considering the AZ220, can't recommend those guys' content highly enough. So jump on over and take a look. Moving on, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Chris Reddington the other day just to kind of have a bit of a chinwag, a bit of a chat, a discussion on, how I came to do a little bit more of this public facing stuff and my own cloud journey. It's always great to speak to Chris. He's a fantastic advocate of Microsoft and Microsoft technologies. He's got some great blogs and video series out there. So a privilege to be part of that. Thanks, Chris. So as Chris says there, it's showing up on today at 3:30, and I just noticed I had a funny little message on my screen there, so I'm going to get rid of that. There we go, gone. Okay, yeah, thanks, Chris, for that. Looking forward to that release. That's at 3:30 today, so in a few hours' time. So that'll be quite cool. Go and check that out. Subscribe to Chris's YouTube, and you can get wind of that, and obviously the other fantastic guests that he has on his show. Notice this. I think it was last night at some point. Yeah, so Anthony Bartolo popped out this quick guide on Universal Print. So I've been reading a little bit about Universal Print and the features, and actually deploying it for some of the customers that I'm working with at the moment. So just thought this was a pretty cool article that Anthony retweeted yesterday. Step by step guide. If you are interested in the Universal Print, there's no on-prem infrastructure effectively required. There's a step-by-step guide. So there's a scenario in there with a description of exactly what a fictional sort of scenario is in need of, and really just how to dig into it and get it all set up purely from start to finish. So pretty cool article there. If you want to check that out, it's over on the Microsoft Tech Community blog, and it's Danielle De Angelis. Like I say, if you go and follow Anthony now at Wireless Life, he's retweeted this out. So go and get that link and have a little look if you are interested in that Universal Print story. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this came out the other day from Dean Sfola, so congratulations to Dean. I've been kind of following his AZ140 series on his YouTube channel. I've not got through every video, but I noticed he'd finally got to the end of the AZ140 exam series, just as they changed the name, Dean? What's going on there? So hopefully that's not too much work to update some of those things for you. But yeah, just wanted to call Dean out. If you don't know Dean, I'm sure you do, the Azure Academy over on YouTube, so his YouTube channel, go and take a look. He's got some absolutely fantastic content. And like I say, the AZ140, the Azure Virtual Desktop Series, he's been avidly putting those videos out over the last, couple of months, I think it is now. So go and take a look at that. You can see this is episode number 20. If you are looking to study for the 140 or just learn a little bit more about Virtual Desktop, then go and check that series out. So thanks to Dean for that. We are getting closer to Carl Cook's transformation of his blue hair. So he just tweeted this out. It's fantastic. That's amazing, Carl. Well done. I mean, I've not checked this morning what you're up to, but look, if anybody's watching this, they can spare a couple of pounds to sponsor Carl. This going to some amazing charities. Carl is dyeing his hair blue on the 25th of June in aid of charity. So he's going Azure blue. As he says here, he's going blonde this week in preparation for it, just to get that brilliant blue colour shining through, no doubt. And like I say, he's doing it for charity. So all of this money raised is going to 4 charities. Go and take a look. Follow him on Twitter. Go and take a look at his article on his blog site. Really great cause and a bit of fun as well. So I can't wait to see that, Carl. It's going to be good fun. And yeah, good luck and congratulations on raising so much money. That's fantastic. Moving along. So yes, my friend Cliff Agius has just had one of his blog posts published on the IoT blog, the Microsoft IoT blog. So yeah, I mean, you know, for those of you that don't know Cliff, he's an avid sort of contributor to the IoT Live program with Pete Gallagher on the Azure Live channel on Twitch. So Olivier Bloch has retweeted Cliff's post. So Cliff was fortunate enough to get a version of the Azure Percept development kit. So he's given it basically a first review, an unboxing, where he goes into talking a little bit about the actual kit itself and the component parts and what it's made up of at the hardware level. And yeah, it's a great article. And obviously the fact that the IoT team have republished that onto the IoT MS blog is fantastic. So congrats to Cliff. And as he says there, you know, the first of many, because this dev kit is cool. It's, you know, there's a lot of potential there. It's great to see that Microsoft have put this together for people like Cliff and Pete. And, you know, I'd love to get my hands on one at some point and have a little play with it personally, but that'll come, I'm sure. May have to get one when they get released in the UK. But yeah, go and check that out. If you want to know a little bit more about the Percept development kit, go and take a look at Cliff's article here. You can see he's done a few object recognition. He's done some training using the custom Vision AI webpage. Well, it's the Percept Vision AI webpage. And he's trained a model, and he's got that pushed down to the camera on the Percept kit, and he's doing some cool things. But yeah, just so a first look at the dev kit. Pretty cool stuff. So looking forward to, like I say, getting my hands on a set of that at some point. Well, in the near future with a bit of luck. Okay, moving on. Yep, just had a little bit of a ping pong, thinking about popping down to the South Coast Summit. If you don't know about it, then go and have a look, southcoastsummit.com. There's, it covers Azure 365. I think you've got Dynamics. I think it covers the Microsoft platform. So yeah, business applications, modern workplace in Azure. 16th of October, down on the South Coast. Go and sign up for it. There's free tickets available through Eventbrite. Like I say, southcoastsummit.com. I'm certainly going to try and get down to it. It's the first in-person event, so fingers crossed there's nothing that scuppers those plans for the 16th of October. But I've signed up. Hopefully you are. You can see they got a cracking number of sessions. They're up to around about 1,400 attendees already. Yeah, go and take a look. So it's in the I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the Aegeus Bowl. the home of Hampshire cricket. So it's going to be there. So yeah, why not? It's the first event that I think I signed up to that's going to be face to face this year. First of many, hopefully. But yeah, go and take a look. Go and sign up, southcoastsummit.com. Hope to see you there. And sticking with the theme of events, Azure Summit, I noticed we're tweeting out the other night. I know there's a great few people in the community have submitted sessions for this. So just a quick call out, September the 13th to the 19th. There's a week-long learning of Azure that runs from those dates. AzureSummit.live is the URL if you want to go and check that out. You can still sit there. They're accepting papers, or you can register for the event. And again, you can see there's obviously quite a significant number of attendees with it being virtual and worldwide. Massive number of speakers, 7 days streaming live content, 110 sessions. So just a little bit about some of the featured speakers there. You can see there's some familiar faces from the community and Microsoft. Get involved. I'm just scanning down this now. See, yeah, there's a few more people I can see there. Oh, there's a few more familiar faces for you all. So yeah, really looking forward. It's always great to see these events, and obviously all the great people across the community submitting their sessions and obviously putting talks in. So yeah, there's certainly a number of people I know in there. So looking forward to that. Wow, this list just goes on and on, doesn't it? So yeah, there's a lot of people there. Wow. So Azure Summit .live, September the 13th to the 19th. Go and check that out, everyone. And local community group. So we've got Chris Reddington. He co-organises the Azure Thames Valley. He's looking for speakers for lightning talks. So I know we do this at the Welsh Azure. It's a great format. Really great concept, really, to get get as much content as you can crammed into a 15-minute slot. It's a challenge, I guess, but I think it forces you to get over your points quite quickly and early on in the talk. So Chris is looking for speakers. If you're interested, go and follow Chris. Go and give him a shout. He's got a call for speakers sessionize page there. Go and submit a session. If you're new to speaking, or maybe you're a little bit nervous, you don't know what to talk about, 15 minutes, put something together. That's the point of these community user groups. Everybody is friendly. Everyone is supportive. If you want to get into speaking and you haven't done it anymore, just reach out to Chris, reach out to myself. More than happy to kind of help you along those lines. And like I say, it's a friendly space for you to practice that craft, because it is certainly a skill that it's a great skill to have. And you need somewhere to test it out and learn. So yeah, it's a friendly, safe space. Get involved, get something on paper, a couple of slides, maybe a little demo or so, and get yourself a lightning talk at the next Azure Thames Valley session. So yeah, thanks for that, Chris. And yeah, I wanted to call this one out as well. So Brad Cugg, Bradford Cloud User Group, my friend Simon Lee is talking, and May is there as well doing the Power Platform discussion as well. So yeah, Simon is giving a talk. So looking forward to that, Simon. I think he's doing it on Autopilot and Intune. So sign up for that. That's in a few days' time, next Thursday. That's the 24th of June. Bradcud, so the Bradford Cloud User Group, have got their next session. So looking forward to that with May and Simon. So that will be pretty cool. Get signed up, everyone. And sticking with the theme, the Cloud Management User Group, organised by Dean Ellaby. He's put a call for speakers out because he's got an idea you'd like to share. Got an idea? No, sorry, he's asking, have you got an idea? Of course he is. Sorry, Dean. So for their future events, he's got a call for speakers out. So if you are looking to speak, another great cloud user group, go and drop Dean a line or jump onto their Sessionize page and submit some talks and get involved. So yeah, excited for that. The next MC2MC session is on the 24th of June. So, yeah, that is next Thursday as well. These Thursdays always seem to clash. What is it about Thursdays? Everybody picks a Thursday. But there we go. I mean, it's always the same. So the next session is next Thursday, the 24th, 6:30 p.m. Central European Standard Time. Yeah, I think that's what it is. CESC. God, terrible am I. So they've got Lady Lovelace, who is Dina. Let me click on that so I can read it. Desnica. Okay, so she's a program manager at Microsoft, and she's going to be coming on to talk about Azure DevOps, the Microsoft Graph and MEM So showing the art of the possible with those technologies. So that will be a cool talk. So looking forward to that. Get involved, get signed up, follow the group on Twitter at MC2MCBE, and look forward to that session as well. Just wanted to call out Imran again. So Imran at IT Support Blog, he runs and manages the AzureCrazy.com website. That's fantastic, Imran. 93 blogs. So he's got some great. I mean, I was lucky enough to kind of complete an interview with Imran that's up on the website as well. But that's great going. 93 people. Go and have a read. There's some fantastic stories in there, and some prevalent people across the community. So if you're interested in learning more about the people that are kind of in this cloud community, specifically around the Azure arena, go and jump onto AzureCrazy.com. Give Imran a bit of support. Let him know your feedback, comment, get involved, retweet some of the articles. It really helps everybody kind of grow their own platforms as well. So well done, Imran. Great going. Wonder you're going to get to be number 100. You'll have to find somebody special for that slot, I think. Okay, moving on. After the name change from WVD to AVD, Neil McLaughlin has just tweeted out about the first AVD community event for the 19th of August. So it's it's a month and a half away or so yet, but just wanted to call it out now, just as Neil tweeted out the other night. Obviously, the URL, I know Neil was talking about having to update all these URLs now, which is no mean feat. It's just funny how these things work out from time to time. So wvdcommunity.com. The next event there is the 19th of August. Bookmark it, put it in your diaries. Go and give Neil a follow at Virtual Mank, and same message. Get involved and show some support for that. Okay, wanted to call out a few bits and pieces I've seen Jack Tracy up to. I follow the enterprise scale GitHub repo just for any changes, and I noticed that there's been a raft of activity recently. So I had a quick look. See, I noticed that Jack had put this updates page in there, but equally I'd noticed that Jack had tweeted out this bit and now about what's been going on. So he's got a what's new section on the enterprise scale GitHub repo. So GitHub is Azure/enterprise-scale. If you go to that GitHub repo, you can see all the cool things that the guys, so Jack and the team, are up to there with adding to the content in regards to enterprise scale. So one of the things that he called out was really there's some approaches now for enterprise scale and testing enterprise scale more fundamentally. So that's pretty cool. And he's managed to get that put up into the official Microsoft Docs section as part of the Cloud Adoption Framework. So yeah, we can scroll down, testing approach for enterprise scale. Some great content here. Really just obviously defining what your environment looks like from an enterprise scale scenario. There's some example scenarios and outcomes. They talk about different methods of testing. So he's got an example of canary management group hierarchy and using maybe a canary configuration for maybe shifting some of your resources over into and having that split as you do some testing. But yeah, really cool developments there on the enterprise scale part of Cloud Adoption Framework. So encourage you to go and have a read of that, because it's just some really cool stuff, and Jack has clearly been working quite hard on getting some of that together. So yeah, congratulations, Jack, and thanks for all your efforts there. I'll certainly be digging into some of this in a little bit more detail and having a chat with my customers about it. Okay. So back over to the desktop for 2 minutes. That was my community call out. As always, huge thanks to everybody that takes part in the community. It's fantastic to see. Obviously, it's it's just great content. I know there's a lot of it. I'm overwhelmed at times. There's too much for any one person to watch in any given day. So, but it's just great that you've got all of this different type of content, and you're able to pick and choose what you want to look at or watch or read. So yeah, it's all pretty good. So I think what we'll do now, we'll jump over and I'll give you an update on the Welsh Azure user group. If I can find my button. There it is. Okay, so last night we had our June event. It was fantastic. We had 3 lightning talks and we had 1 feature length talk. So Huge thanks to Baz Van Cam. We had Jake Walsh. We had Mark Jones doing a 3 lightning talks covering ephemeral disks and the use case with AVD. We had Jake talking us through sort of Azure landing zones and why do you need to consider Azure landing zones. And then Mark took us through the IaaS extension for SQL servers, so bringing that SQL information and feature set out into the Azure portal, which was pretty cool. I'd not seen that before, so it was a great little overview there. And then finally, we had Clive Watson on, giving us a fantastic. So Clive is one of the global black belts in security and Azure Sentinel. Clive came on and gave us a fantastic overview of Sentinel. So if you're interested in those talks, as always, the video will be uploaded. It'll be uploaded a little bit later today. If you check out the YouTube channel below, hopefully by the time this video goes out, that will be uploaded and released on there as well. So go and check it out. There was some fantastic content on there, and huge thanks to the speakers and for everybody that attended. Of course, we had a great turnout again as usual. Some fantastic, sort of banter, I suppose you call it that. But it was really good. Great event. Really enjoy doing these events once a month. So yes, go and have a little rewatch. And then on to the next event. So the next event is scheduled for the 15th of July, 6:30 p.m. BST. And again, we got the similar format. We've got 3 lightning talks. So we've got Mike Martin joining us to talk about Azure Security Center and Ride the Lightning, as he's called his talk. We got Ashish joining us to talk about any performance degradation in Azure Web App, how to kind of troubleshoot those kind of issues. So he's going to give us a quick brief overview and a demo on that. And then we've got Ryan Mangan going to come on and talk to us about MSIX app attach for AVD. I have to keep checking myself every time I say that now, instead of WVD, AVD. So for those of you that don't know, Windows Virtual Desktop got renamed to Azure Virtual Desktop in the last week or so. So every time I look at AVD now, I have to stop and think. So we've got Mike, Ashish, and Ryan coming on to give us some 3, lightning talks, and then I was really excited that Tim accepted the slot to come and give us a talk. Let's face it, Tim could give us a talk on pretty much any area. I think I joke with people, to me, Tim is like a mini celebrity. If like me, you've watched all his content over the years, his Pluralsight courses, and all the good CBT nuggets. I think back in the day, it was just so much. So Tim has just got a great way of explaining and teaching. So fantastic to have Tim. Looking forward to that session. So he's going to come on and talk to us around the networking options that we've got within the Azure platform. So that will be quite a cool and interesting talk, no doubt. So there we go. So that was the Azure user group, the Welsh Azure user group, I should say, talk for this month and next month. So as always, sign up if you can at Welsh Azure on Twitter. Go and give us a like and a follow, and hopefully we'll see you at the next event. Okay, let's jump straight on over now. Then we'll talk about the little bits and pieces I've been up to on the side. Okay, so I managed to get a quick blog out. I've done this a number of times now with numbers of different customers, and to be honest, I get quite a lot of messages about it for some strange reason. Microsoft guidance with how to set up an Azure Migrate appliance, whether it be Hyper-V, VMware, or just picking up physical servers, is pretty well documented. It's pretty well structured in terms of the wizards and the following. You do get the odd little niggle normally with firewall ports or credentials for scanning environments and things like that, and some servers not getting discovered for whatever reason, or do you have to put agents on to do interdependency mapping and that kind of stuff? So I put together a quick little blog, which is just a run through. I quickly set it up on my Hyper-V lab. I did a video a little while back. I've linked to that in there as well. But I thought I'll do it and I'll show the whole process, and I'll show just migrating 1 or 2 servers. I've not gone to the extent of interdependency mapping, because I've just not got a set of a 3-tiered app on my Hyper-V setup. They're just plain old servers, basically a couple of domain controllers, bits and pieces. So go and check that out if you're interested. But there'll be more to follow in that series. Huge thanks to Alex, last week's guest on In Conversation With. Had a fantastic chat with Alex around sort of cybersecurity and moving to the cloud and some cool things that he's up to with socials like YouTube series and, of course, TikTok. Alex is getting quite prevalent in the TikTok space as well at the moment. So go and check that out if you haven't watched it yet. It was a cool talk, fun guy. So really, really looking forward to catching up with Alex in the near future as well. This week, I've been fortunate enough to speak to another couple of really cool people. So Cliff, as I mentioned earlier, Cliff, he gave me the sneaky peek of the Percept Dev Kit as well, that what he's been working on. We talked a lot around IoT, Azure, in general, some 3D printing tips and tricks. And as we all know, well, you may not know, but Cliff is a Xamarin/Maui mobile app developer effectively, and he's just such a super knowledgeable guy on all things sort of IoT related, boards, hardware, components, electronics. He's a guy that you need to know. If you're talking IoT, Cliff needs to be on your list. So managed to get a session in with Cliff this week. That will be going out, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. I think actually it may even be next week. So stay tuned for that one. And thank you to Cliff. Also had a fantastic catch up with John Morehouse. So John is the founder and the CEO of PowerTools.dev. I'm not a software developer, but he took me through what PowerTools was all about and literally how you can, at the click of a button, get your application deployed onto a cloud native fabric, whether that be Azure, whether it be AWS or GCP. The point is all of that is abstracted away and you can deploy your code, your application into cloud PaaS native features within that cloud platform based on whichever cloud platform you want. So it's pretty cool development that John has got there. That will be out in a couple of weeks' time. Stay tuned for that one. But huge thanks to John for joining me for that talk. It's pretty cool. And we talk about this upcoming on cloud movement, which I'm sure we're all seeing a bit more of now. Rather than having those monolith applications that you install and feed and water, you'll buy a bit of software and it'll be just installed directly into your cloud platform. So be cool to see how that one morphs over the next few years. And on to tonight. It is Friday. The next episode of In Conversation With will be airing tonight over on the Azure Live Twitch.tv channel. And it's the one and only Neil McLaughlin. So, yeah, again, all these people in the community that I'm managing to have a chat with and do a recording session with, they're such great people that have put a lot of time and effort and passion back out into the community to help us all grow and understand the areas of technology that they're focused on. So, huge thanks to Neil for this. Stay tuned. Hopefully you can tune in tonight, catch us live on Azure Live, twitch.tv, or if not, watch it on the replay. It'll be up on YouTube shortly afterwards. But yeah, huge thanks to Neil. That's the episode for tonight. So looking forward to that one going out. And finally, just another shout out really for the cloud community thing. We're looking to do this once a month. So, I'll leave it there now. If you've not seen it, go and have a jump on it. I think it's on the Azure Live YouTube channel now, or check out the Azure Live Twitch channel. It's just a bunch of people from the community talking about rubbish and eating fish and chips. And on that note, let's flick back over to the desktop. On my face, not the desktop. Okay, so that was the Jonnychipz on the side bit. I think the final section of the show is really to talk about the Azure updates this week. Let's just jump straight on over and take a look at those. So we've had quite a lot of updates again. I think we've had over a dozen updates this week. Again, as always, go and keep BDI on the Azure Updates page. It's always a good thing to kind of try and keep up to speed with what's moving and going on in the Azure space over the last week. So first thing, 5 more free services are available with the free Azure account. So Azure Database for PostgreSQL, Database for MySQL, Key Vault, Logic Apps, and the encoding feature of Azure Media Services now available for eligible Azure free account users. So free services. So obviously there'll be some limitations and T's and C's and things like that, but it's just cool. Even if from a development point of view, you need something, they're free. Go and get a free account, sign up, use, play, learn, and see what you can make with them. Azure Maps Elevation API is now in general availability. That's cool. So obviously the elevation, if you're doing any of those kind of dev works, I mean, predominantly things like IoT and apps on phones and apps in whatever a device that you want to make of your own accord. You've got that elevation API now. So actually within the maps you can put you can call the APIs and as it says there, elevation for a given point or set of points, specified intervals within a given boundary, and elevation along a given path. So using that Azure Maps account, which is pretty cool. So cool advances there. Okay, yeah, there's been some more announcements around Azure Communication Services, which is pretty cool. They're just basically telling us this is in development now. So direct routing for ACS is in development. So direct routing is the virtual connection between the developer application and the on-prem telephony or carrier used for calls on public switch telephone. So yeah, I mean, for those of you that maybe aren't too familiar with the UT space, things like Teams and the ability to make those outbound Teams calls. Yes, you could go and buy some Teams credits from the portal. You could sign up and buy a call plan, whether it be a UK local call plan or international call plan. Or you could use, if you're a business, you're of a large size, and maybe you want to keep those call charges low. Maybe you're in contract with your existing SIP trunk provider, or maybe you're still on ISDN, or maybe you've got a legacy platform, a legacy telephony system that you want to hook into. You can basically stick an SBC, a session border controller, on your environment, whether that be physical device racked and stacked, or even a virtual device, hosted in Azure. You can put an SBC in Azure. You can use this term called direct routing. So effectively, you're paying for your SIP trunk for your calls and your media to flow out of for your outbound and inbound PSTN calling, and that can hook into an SBC that in turn can forward and direct calls and make calls on the Teams. So it's cool to see now that they're including this feature for that communication service within Azure, that direct routing now can actually be used for Azure Communication Services. So if you do, you're building an application that needs to, maybe go out and ring a PSTN number, well, that call can be made directly through your on-prem or your existing incumbent SIP provider. So that's cool. That's in development. Not sure if there's any dates on that yet. There's a blog article there. I'm going to have a little read about that because that's pretty cool. And also, I noticed there were a few of these call recording as well. So call recording, for those not in the know in terms of UC, call recording has always really been a third-party thing, a partner thing certainly with Skype for Business, OCS, Link, Skype for Business into Teams. Call recording was always things like Redbox and other providers. They would set up some separate services that would do that recording, and it was only going to be a matter of time before Microsoft introduced this. So call recording, as we know, it's in place at the moment for Teams anyway, but you can kind of click a button and you let people know that you're recording. I'm not sure whether compliancy, so those people that need call recording as a standard thing. So in other words, call centers, when we know that contact centers is not the Teams platform, but for those businesses that need call recording for compliancy reasons. So regardless of the call, it's always recorded and kept and stored for, retained for a number of days, weeks, months, years, whatever it needs to be. But that, again, is coming for ACS. So it's really cool innovations here going on. And there's, I see this blowing up to something silly. So I want to try and have a play with this myself, with it being Azure. I want to see, obviously my UC background as well. I'd like to get on top of that at some point. Okay, Azure Dev Spaces has been retired. I'm not quite sure why it took a month to say that, but so it retired May the 15th. There we go. It just says Bridge to Kubernetes provide a lightweight alternative to many development scenarios that Azure Dev Spaces supported. It's a client-only experience offered through extensions in Visual Studio and VS Code. So Bridge to Kubernetes provides an improved experience with enhanced capabilities. Okie dokie. Okay, GA, support for SQL Server in data flows using Azure Data Factory and Azure Synapse. We've got the Azure Monitor Agent and Data Collection Rules has now gone generally available. So this AMA, this Azure Monitor Agent, was kind of meant to be like a monitoring agent to champion all monitoring agents, rather than, because over the years there's been lots of different agents that we can install on VMs or physical servers, and it started to get a little bit unwieldy with the migration agent, the monitoring agent. There's lots of different agents. So Microsoft have kind of compiled this one monitoring agent. You can put in different kind of extensions to call the other agents, and of course DCR, so data collection rules, so you can specify to the agent what data that should be collecting. So they've gone GA, so that's pretty cool to see. There we go. Microsoft Azure available from new cloud regions in Arizona. Yeah, I did actually see and hear a few people talking about this. By all accounts, this is the highest stage of sustainable energy data center. So Microsoft's vision of sort of being that carbon, not just carbon neutral, but I think they're looking to reverse that cycle and go carbon positive. I don't know what the term is, but anyway, they've got their latest data center region in Arizona, so West US 3. So it includes Azure availability zones, and like I say, it's one of the most environmentally friendly data centers. So it says availability zones obviously offer customers additional resiliency for their applications by designing the region with unique physical data center locations with independent power network and cooling for additional tolerance to data center failures. So there we go. So take a little look, go and have a look at that. There's a learn more button there, but cool to see some fantastic moves from Microsoft as usual. Okay, GA, Azure IoT Central, new and updated features, May 2021. Okay, I won't dwell on these too much, but the IoT Central and IoT platform generally get updated features every month. So yeah, various different pieces there called into. I need to read far more than just this website to kind of have an opinion on those. But yeah, cool to see. Azure Virtual Machines DCSV2 series are now available in Australia. Cool. In preview, so new Azure Private MEC solutions announced. So Private Multi-Access Edge Compute, MEC, expands the scope of possibilities from a single platform and service to a combination of edge compute, multi-access networking stacks, and the application services that run together at the edge. Okay, very good. Okay, I'm going to need to read more. Moving on. In preview, alerts-based smart detection for application insights. Cool. Now available. So Azure Data Lake Storage static website is now generally available. Okay. And Azure Data Explorer and subnet delegation is now generally available. So maintenance controls for virtual machine scale sets and OS update image upgrades is now GA. And cross-region restore of SQL and SAP HANA running in Azure VM. Yep, absolutely. That's cool. GA. And then finally, Azure blob index tags have now gone GA. So prior to index tags, solutions that require the ability to quickly find specific objects in a blob container would need to keep a secondary catalog. So blob index tags provides a built-in capability to add tags, then quickly query for or filter this information. Okay, pretty cool. So that's GA, and you can tag your blob indexes. Okay, and that's that. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe if this has been of value to you. Like I say, I know these videos do go on a little bit, but there we go. That's just the way. There's too much to say. There's lots of information out there. There's lots to talk about and see and do. So anyway, we'll call it there for this week. Until next week, thank you so much for watching. I've been John Lunn, and I will see you next week.